Thank you, Priyanka and Ruchika. Now I would like to invite Ruchita Patil and Aditya Gurjar for giving GF introduction.
Good morning. Beneficiaries, and our vision aims to have 5,000 active beneficiaries by the end of next 3 years. In GEF, we follow certain principles. The first one is holistic development. We believe that students' success in his or her life and career depends more on holistic and less on academic performances. Second one is cycle of giving. Students who have been benefited by the supporter need to complete this cycle of giving by supporting the next set of students after completing their education. Third one is total inclusivity. In total inclusivity, admissions are given on basis of their merit and not any man-made boundary can stop it. Next one is collaboration. GEF is striving for the betterment of future of needy students, but alone it is not possible. So to reach out to such needy students, GEF collaborate with various institutions and organizations. Fifth one is quality over quantity. Guruji Education Foundation doesn't focus on quantity to targets and instead focuses on excellent and qualitative services. And last one is customized career planning. This program focuses on providing career guidance which helps students identify suitable career options and develop a holistic action plan.
Wonderful, very good, Ruchika.
Holistic higher education is one of our important projects. Holistic higher education project works with college students to provide social as well as financial capital to high potential but distressed students. At GEF, the majority of students are girls. We also have a significant number of students from rural area, representing a diverse range of academic streams. The students come from every nook and corner of the state. Now, these are some alumni and you can see what they said. The difference in the students as shown in then and now is due to their hard work. And now, I would like to invite Aditya Gurjar to talk about Adolescent Development Program.
Thank you, Ruchita. Good morning, one and all. Myself, Aditya Gurjar. I am pursuing BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication from VJTI, Mumbai. I am presenting you the impactful initiative undertaken by GEF, Adolescent Development Program. Our development model mainly focuses on 5 important aspects, namely physical literacy, entrepreneurial mindset, psychological strength, intellectual prowess, and last but not the least, life skills. Moving forward to projects launched by GEF. First one is Adolescent Development Program. The GEF Adolescent is faced by high potential students with limited resources. The program selects schools based on performance and socio-economic status, and students are chosen based on their performance in 5th standard scholarship exams. By implementing this approach, the program aims to empower students and enhance their educational outcomes. Let's now see the student intake in this program. We have launched holistic secondary education program for students from class 6 to class 10. Then we have Super 30 project that aims to provide coaching for competitive examinations. Another program launched by GEF is Scholar Test for class 8 student. Then we have Amit Khare's computing lab for middle school students. The project emphasizes critical, creative, and computational thinking among students. Spoken English program is for school and college students and also for school teachers and working professionals, which helps them to equip with the necessary English language skills for enhanced employability. Currently, we have started this program among 19 schools in Maharashtra, one in Madhya Pradesh and one in Tamil Nadu. GEF hosts get-together and virtual meets with senior. So these are the new initiatives which are ready to launch in order to develop skills of students in various areas. GEF hosts annual get-together and virtual meet, like we have today meet with Prasanna Iyengar sir, to serving as a platform for collaboration, sharing progress, and celebrating achievements, fostering a sense of community among participants. These are our annual get-together photos you can see in this. GEF passionately appeals everyone to participate in Education for All initiative. You can contribute us by identifying high on potential and low on resources students, mentoring a group of students for developing specific skills, by mobilizing funds, by networking to enroll individuals and institutions. Together, we can bring education to even more deserving students, transform lives, and build a brighter future for the generations to come. To explore us more, you can visit our website www.gurujifoundation.in. We also have our YouTube channel and you can also visit our social media platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchita and Aditya, for throwing light on Guruji Foundation. Now, I would like to invite Gayatri Mene to introduce our honorable guest.
Hello everyone, I am Gayatri Mene from Chandrapur district. Currently, I am studying in a second year BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from MIT Academy of Engineering, R&D. It is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest, Mr. Prassana Iyengar, sir, a distinguished professional in the field of technology. Mr. Iyengar serves as a site reliability manager at Google, a role that exemplifies his expertise, leadership, and dedication to ensuring seamless and reliable experiences for the users worldwide. He completed Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science from University of Mumbai in 1989 and Master's degree from University of
What?
Nebraska
Hi, Tejas.
Link- and Master's degree from the University of Nebraska Lincoln, USA during 1990 to 1992. He has a proven track record of driving successful projects and achieving business objectives while maintaining a strong focus on reliability and customer satisfaction. His expertise lies in designing, implementing, and optimizing reliable infrastructure and services. Prasanna sir possesses a deep understanding of cloud computing, distributed system, and infrastructure architecture. He is well versed in utilizing cutting edge technologies and best practices to build and maintain highly available and fault tolerant system. He is specialist at Unix automation, matrix correlation, also expert at troubleshooting of performance enhancement. He is actively doing community work for society. He is a president of TAP Charity Inc. from 2021, which work for poverty alleviation. He is also an organizer of Chinmay Mission San Jose at California, USA from past 18 years. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Prasanna Iyengar sir and thanking him for accepting our invitation to share his valuable thoughts with our team. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchita.
Thank you, Gayatri, for such a detailed introduction. The four things are followed: having great aim, acquiring knowledge, hard work, and perseverance, and anything can be achieved. Said by our beloved President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Prasanna sir symbolizes it very well. We are all eager to hear the remarkable tale of his journey to success. And for this, I would like to invite Manish Burande and Kapil Patil.
Hello, everyone. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. My name is Manish. I am currently studying in third year Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, Aurangabad. I belong to Ghot village situated in Gadchiroli district. Now,
Okay.
I would like to invite my co-host, Master Kapil Patil, to introduce himself. Please, Kapil.
Hello, sir. My name is Kapil Patil. Currently, I am studying in final year of IT branch in HGS College, Nanded. I belongs to Latur.
See.
First of
Hi,
all, I
Kapil.
am
I'm
very
Manish.
glad to have.
Good to meet you. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
First of all, I am very glad to have an interaction with you, sir. Before moving to question answer session, I want everyone's participation. So if anyone have any doubts, let us know by dropping a comment in chat box. So let's move toward the question sessions. Hello, sir. We would like to know your life journey. What sort of challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them? Sir, please can you guide us?
Sure. First of all, thank you for the very warm welcome. A beautiful song, and really appreciate the effort and the thought behind GEF. I consider myself fortunate for having come across the path of Pradeep sir here, and having had the opportunity to uh, meet and learn what inspired him to get on this journey. I think I feel like we all can do a lot with the opportunities that come our way. And Pradeep sir here definitely represents someone that I have very high regard for, and see that this is an exemplary trajectory to follow. So I think I'll say the kind of a starting place. Please feel free to interrupt. Let's keep this a interaction. I like the way Manish put it. It's a interaction that I'm here for, and I appreciated the introduction and hearing the path on these things often makes one, at least I am in this case, um, feeling quite humble at the opportunity really that have brought me to where I'm at here. So allow me to kind of delve a little bit into my own history. I come from a sort of parents who were working middle class, and quite fortunate to be in the city of Bombay at the time when I was born and kind of going through my schooling, education, and such. And while we didn't have a lot, I think it was never a situation of wanting something and not having it. It was always a sense of we have enough and we can keep uh, keep some and share some from here. What I meaning at that stage, what I think I benefited most from is the high value in education that my parents, my village around me, that my family, my extended family, placed on putting us through the opportunities that kind of then unfolded. And one thing led to the other. And I won't belabor the point on being able to get to engineering for to study undergraduate, and then subsequently, after a brief period of working at Godrej, ending up coming for higher studies to the United States. And then one thing led to the other. One of the things that actually struck me was in the questions that Harshita had submitted. I think these were questions from Manish and you all. And a lot of the question resonated. So I'm going to start there. And in terms of preparation, let me start with the anecdote of like where the career, the reason we are here today is Pradeep sir said, share what the next three to 5 years look like. And I don't want to pretend to have a crystal ball, but at the same time, I think the question that you all asked, which is the curriculum does not prepare us for the industry. Academics seem to be out of step with the work. And I don't feel prepared for the work environment. It was the same situation 35 years ago. I think I grew up not too far from someone on this call introduced themselves as going to VJTI. I grew up in the neighborhood of VJTI, was not good enough to go to VJTI, went to this engineering college in Bombay called Thodomal Shani Engineering College, and they're almost identical sets of challenges. And uh, we kind of consulted with my peers, and the same question we were kind of faced with. So when I graduated, as I mentioned, I got a placement at to go to work at Godrej. So this is an anecdote that I'll begin with, and um, it might sound like a little meandering away from the original objective, but humor me for a second. Hopefully, no more than 30 seconds to a minute. So at that time, I've had, as was mentioned already, graduated with a degree in computer engineering, but didn't really have any programming skills. And the thing that I know I was um, equipped with was, as I mentioned, my dear parents, and I had seen a work ethic, and it was important for me to be seen as someone that was a worthy offspring there. So, what that all translated for me was I was consistent in showing up and insistent in learning what I didn't know. One Mr. Arvind Gokhale took a chance on me. And he armed me with a C language programming book and a Unix computer. This is, uh, this is kind of going back 35 years ago. So this is uh, pre cloud and pre mobile networking and all of that. There was not even a network. Uh, Suffice it to say that I took that. I was surrounded by um, a set of peers that were all IIT graduates, and there was uh, a a clear class system in there, and I took that to basically uh, take that as an opportunity to just get some coaching. And there were some strict coaches around me. One, Mr. Risboard, was my technical lead, still a good friend and mentor. And for 2 to 3 months, I was made to iterate on the same problem. And the later in life, I would really cherish the training ground that helped me solidify my concepts. I went on to kind of quickly go to the end of this story here. I went on to work on a file system library. This is a Unix file system library that was used in the CAD/CAM drafting package. It solved a fairly simple problem, and the problem to be solved was the user space application could only have 20 file descriptors back then, and for an isometric drawing package, that was deemed insufficient. So the library that I worked on made it expanded that workspace to get it to 64 file descriptors. Now, what is the big deal about these numbers and these things? The thing here that I want to kind of take a pause and say that this is the fact that I can even recount this thing at uh, that level of detail, where I often use the excuse that I'm forgetful as I'm getting older, is that it's a testament to the strong mentors I had. I was lucky. I I grew up in a system where I followed at that point counsel without a lot of questioning, and that served me well. That led to opportunities and even gave me a break in my future career from there. So, if there is one thing that I want to leave you as a takeaway from there is the, this arc that you see, or this version of me that you see now, is one that is kind of developed over several baby steps. The keystone, the cornerstone of this is create a mentor network and lean into a strong mentor when you have found one. And life is a continuing education. This has there are several inflection points in this thing that brought me, I would say, its share of stumbles, falls, and successes. Through and through all of these, the thing that I would put a lot of value on is the mentorship that I have been fortunate to receive, setting goals, and of course, being intentional about the work that you do is part of what I would say um, becomes the foundation of something that you are proud of to be taking forward. Here, I'll pause. If you either have questions for what I said, or if you want to take it in a different direction, I'd be happy to.
Sir, your life
Manish?
journey is inspiring for us. Thank you for sharing wonderful thoughts. Sir, can I take next question?
Sure.
Uh, Sir, some of the engineering college in India don't have proper curriculum, which is tuned with 20th century requirements. To understand that, developed countries like US, Germany, UK is more pertinent. Sir, what is your perspective?
So I think that's the intent behind sharing that story. Uh, the curriculum and such, the academic institutions have a certain phase lag between. Okay, is that better? I can you. I understand about the blue reflection. I think that's my laptop, but
That's okay.
I yeah, I'm not blind without my glasses, so don't worry. It's my I think computer glasses for the this thing. So, uh, Kapil, the key here is that have a certain amount of faith in the curriculum that you have, and I'll say that because I think I was in almost exactly the same place. As I said, I did not know programming, and I was looking at a programming job at that time. The only type of programming that we had learned in college felt like it was not going to be very useful in the careers that I was going after. But what has always served me there is the fundamentals that you pick up, the applied mathematics, the operations research, the work that you do in thermodynamics and heat transfer. Though those were the courses and curriculum that were part of what I went through. I'm sure the things have advanced and are in different forms. I think what I want to get to you is that have faith in the fundamentals that you have, and being able to have that open mindset of learning will serve you well. And don't let anyone tell you that you don't know it. The technology, I mean, back when I started, it was, I think the rule of thumb metric was technology revises in about 7 years. It's kind of rule of seven. Now, in the space that we are in, the rate of innovation is even more rapid. So there is no such thing as my curriculum is going to be absolutely adept at what the industry needs. There is a certain amount of learning on the job. But what you will not learn on the job is the fundamentals, and the fundamentals is what you need to ensure that you've got your strength in, and then being willing to work hard is what will serve you well. Hopefully, that kind of it may seem like grandfatherly advice. I guess some of it is also a demonstration of my age. Yes,
Thank
I see.
thank
Taga
you,
is
sir.
on the call, so
Yeah. So, sir, now I would like to ask. Most of large organizations are headed by the Indian students, as you and as Pichai sir, all of us know. India is also known as the IT powerhouse, and Then why it is not possible, or it is doesn't have a global product of its own like Google or Baidu in India?
Yeah, so I think this question did make me think back and reflect, and I'll start with the answer I gave my father several years ago, who was very, very scared, as I'm sure every parent is, for their child. When the child says he's going to go work at a three people startup company, and a few years pass by, and then he says he's getting together with some friends and he's seeking venture capital money. He does not have a paycheck coming in. So my father, like any of yours, are going to worry about that. So in the 90s, I got an opportunity to go through that part of the experience. I don't head Google or any of these places that you mentioned. uh, the, the truth of the matter is, there is less than 1% of the startups that actually go the whole distance. So I was in the 99%. But here is what I'll say: the things that worked at the time, and I think they were true then. But my understanding is India is changing a lot in the more recent times. But that was not the case back then. As a son of a bank employee, there was no way I would have had access to capital to be able to try something out, and then try something out that ended up, like in that case, in bankruptcy, would have meant that either I would have gone to jail or never had a job prospect after that. That was that would have been the India that I came from. I believe that has changed a lot now, but I think the circumstances that allowed me to do these things existed in this is no matter what you think about the um, uh, United States and America and that experience. The one thing that I would say that has been a super favorable environment that has definitely factored in a big way for what has worked out really well for me is the access to capital, the low friction access to employment, and no consequences or punishment for failure. The recognition that there is a certain amount of uh, trial, sincere trial, is part of the journey, and that the pot of gold is not always in the form of an IPO or every company going the distance. That is the crucible in which my experiences are formed. What I understand is the India that you are all in now has such significant opportunities. And I say this based on having some friends who are in the incubators at IIT Madras, and a few people who are doing these things in Bombay as well, that the opportunities are there, and being willing to show up, being that willingness to show up, and mm, having the sincerity to do it. I think you will run into a similar type of arc even in India. As to the question of why there is no Baidu or Google, I think wait and watch. I think in your lifetimes these things will definitely happen. I mean, Chandrayaan has happened, right? So this is a different time and place. I, I, when I left, liberalization had not yet happened, but I think that and many other things, especially the last 10 years, seem like there is a lot more to be hopeful for, and the both the technology space and as such the attitudes seem to be one of uh, something that say high hopes, and what are famously are President APJ Kalam would say, there is nothing we cannot do. But I guess it's not needed, not necessary to look in the rearview mirror. Look forward. I think this it's just a matter of time.
Thank you, sir. Your information is valuable for us. Sir, my next question is, sir, with the growing emphasis on of big data and data analytics, what specific skills and technologies are crucial for IT professionals to stay relevant and competitive?
Basic skills wise, strong math and statistics and operations research, you can never go wrong. That would be an area. I mean, hire scientists and engineers with exactly that type of skill set. From a technology perspective, there is still a great need for fundamental software engineering, systems engineering work. And for those of you that have that background, there is no need to kind of retool and say, I've got to restart all over again. There is there is going to be, if anything, a more widespread need for this. It's going to look different than what was the BPO revolution and such. That was the early 2000s and such. But uh, be certain that the big data, AI, ML, that is the rage now, is still built on these fundamentals of math, probability, and being able to parlay the fundamental engineering skills to be able to deliver that working program. Now, it is true that some degree of AI automation and such will make uh, a lot of what had to be done manually will definitely the it has up leveled that game. But now we can solve problems at a higher level and leave the lowest level of these things, because the existing patterns, the AI will be able to replicate and make available. But I think there is a continuing need, in my opinion, that will be there for fundamental software engineering. And for those that are interested and have the aptitude for the um, math, statistics, and such, then going into the data sciences, though that's going to be, I think, a longer path to specialize such that you can make sense of data through these neural networks and be able to apply the value chain, the end of it. I think don't be intimidated by it is where I will stop it. Show up, and the skills that you have gained, you'll be able to apply into the workforce because the workforce is going to go through a transformation. And for those that are coming out of college in the next 3 to 5 years, you are going to be part of that transformation.
Yes, sir. As you said, we have to leave the past and move toward uh, means ahead. So, how should organizations and individuals should prepare for these changes?
When you say these changes, can you be a little more specific about what kinds of changes
Means, sir,
are you thinking of?
actually, I mean, as AI is in means interacting with us, and we are moving with AI. So,
Mhm.
how can we overcome this problem, and how can individuals or organization should make changes in their life according to AI and machine learning?
Well, Manish, as I was saying earlier, I don't think you have to see it as an obstacle. I think you have to see it as something that up levels the game, so that a lot of what had to be done repeatedly to kind of get to solve the same problem, now with the ML generated model, you can assume that the initial part of it is well done, to be able to then take it to the next level of refinement. There is the, the thing that you have to show up with is the curiosity to see what has this ML produced that you can then take to make it a better experience. Let me try to put it more concretely. Uh, I work in a service currently that has a platform for running these generative AI models that produce output, and it is very striking as to the power that these models can unleash, and the production on the other side is applied, like in one particular application, it's being able to enable the shopping experience to have a consistent backdrop for all the product shopping catalog information that was there, which before relied on the best of breed stock photos and such that were being produced. Now, the differentiation there was two merchants, where the merchant who had the wherewithal to be able to invest into better stock photography and as a result had uh, more successful online outcomes. The ML has now leveled that playing field. It's more just the product that you produce. It's not the presentation of the product, because the presentation is now run through a common generative AI ML model, and the presentation is there. So now, if the merchant focuses on the quality of the product, the quality of the product experience, and the life cycle of the product, that is a merchant that, so they are freed up from having to do things that the merchant anyway did not consider their mainstream. Those were extraneous expenses. Now those expenses in some ways have been taken away, or they are applied. There is a common normalization that is applied to these things. So I think, instead of being seeing this as an enemy, if you see this as where it's basically, I mean, I kind of will use um, metaphor that I can relate to. Hopefully, you can if you're from Bombay. Uh, we have to commute from. Uh, I guess this is showing my time and age. Commuting from Thana or Kalyan in Bombay back then to the city was a big time sink, and that became barrier to be able to get to work in cool places or the cool technologies. Now, with the advent of the network, and in some ways the forced uh, work from home that we all went through, this like grand experiment there that we went through during the pandemic. The pandemic had its major ill effects and all of this stuff. But on the technology front, we have now figured out how, like, an interaction like this is enabled by technology that could have been done back then, but we were not doing it. Now we do it as a matter of course, right? So this is the type of evolution that I think we'll run into as we move forward. I don't think you have to go to worry about it. And really, the reason I started by saying what I said about the questions seem very, very much the same, even though we are 30 years separated. the what I will say as someone that you can see as your future, as don't worry or don't sweat this stuff. You show up and do well in the things that you are trained at, you will have an application that will be part of the thing that makes you have a career. Now, all of this means that you have to show up, you have to be discriminative in what you look out at, and be following good bets. Now, in this, I'm not suggesting that uh, I have. I remember I said the key value there I have taken away is that having good mentors, invest in getting those mentors, recognize who do you look up to and why, be discriminative in that, and follow a leader that you believe in, because there is something worthy of them. He or she needs to in some ways prove that they are good at the calls that they're making, and then that will serve you well. But yeah, don't overly worry about it. I think if anything that I want to kind of leave with you is that don't worry about, in some ways, I mean, this will sound cliche, don't worry about things above your pay grade. And I don't mean this at all saying, oh, you're at a low pay grade. That's not, there are, we tend to you want to do good and you want to solve world hunger. Let's not start there. Let's try to create the capacity that we have, and that capacity is from what I know to do well, and look for those opportunities in which you can apply yourself.
Sir, my next question is, how will advancement in artificial intelligence and machine learning will shape the IT industry in next 3 to 5 years?
So that example that I shared is of generative AI applying a normalizing force can be the type of thing that we will see being the application of AI. And one of the things that I think kind of GEF enabled this as an opportunity, when I say this as an opportunity for TAP, is the um, uh, mentorship program for English. Guess what is happening is that, meaning when I first moved to this country, to me, English was not a language that I was comfortable speaking in, even though, as I said, I had a leg up. I grew up in a cosmopolitan city like Bombay, studied in quote unquote English medium schools and all of that stuff. But English definitely was not a language I was used to thinking in, was not. I would start a sentence in English and go to English. That was that was the English that I knew. It was Hindi English, "Arre tere ko, mere ko," that was the level at which I can communicate. But a combination of circumstances and such, and it was a fairly long journey. How does AI help you there? Now the autopilot, in if you're a Microsoft Word user or Google Docs, the the make use of Bard and ChatGPT, and you can all all of us can have good written output. Because what do we struggle with when we are not able to express in that language? We struggle with how do we put that to paper that is going to communicate my point and has the right jargon and such. So again, make technology your friend, and you will prosper. So AI is not to be feared. It is definitely going to change the game. It is this much I will say. I will not get hired when you are hiring for the next role. I'm willing to bet I won't have the skills that you will be looking for. So the skills that I have banked me, whoever did my introduction was talking about my Unix skills and C language skills. milked that for close to 30 years of my career. That is not going to be the thing that is going to be the next chapter. But you're young, you can adapt. So adapt and learn as these things come. And there, I don't think you should. So when I said should listen to leaders, don't make the mistake of listening to someone just because they have white hair or experience, because this stuff is getting outmoded very, very fast. So learn the skills that you have, bring that to light, and then apply it to the problems. And you, as long as you do not have a kind of overblown fear of AI, you will be able to use that as a friend and get you ahead in the game. And yeah, as Pradeep sir made the point here, the AI technology space and all that, it's become the grand equalizer. So take advantage of it.
Yes, sir, definitely. Moving forward, what do you see cloud computing and quantum computing playing the role in future of IT industry?
So I'll admit, quantum computing is way out of my technical thing. So I will not even comment on that. I think I have not quite uh, comprehended what the qubits are. I'm still very, very much of a binary. I can understand that part. Cloud computing has, uh, as though, made the uh, level of starting much, much easier. I'll tell you, my first startup company where I essentially mortgaged everything that I had to buy computers such that we could bring computers for our engineers that were part of the startup. Now, with cloud computing, the access to those computers and the ability to be able to turn on as much capacity as I actually need at that point in time and turn it off when it is not needed. There's our so cloud computing is another friend. The startup investment is much, much lower. As far as quantum computing, uh, it is I mean, the science behind that is very, very real, but it is that I would say, wait for it to see light of day. It's probably a decade or more away. And I say this based on the experience of when I started in 1989, 1990. There used to be a famous software technology institute called NCST in Bombay. And I remember going to that place and then learning about a 6-month program on artificial intelligence. This is year 1989. Being really fascinated by uh, this short paper that I read while when I had visited them in Santa Cruz, Juhu, I think it was, about neural networks. And I said, yeah, मुझे तो neural networks करना है. Neural networks seems like it solves all problems. You know how long neural networks has taken to pay the bills? Is that if I was actually working on that, I'd be a fairly poor and disgruntled engineer for the intervening 28 years and only start to see some pay dirt in the last 5 years. So I'm not equating neural networks to quantum computing. But I guess I'm using that to impress upon you that the think don't worry about all of the emerging things that make it hard or impossible to um, uh, get yourself started. Quantum computing is definitely in that category. I think it's the accessibility of it, and for what little I know, the power, heat, and cost equations there mean that it's going to take quite a bit of time before it'll see light of day, where it'll start to solve commonplace applications. I think you're walking into a space where AI ML is definitely going to rule the roost, and having an understanding and willingness to employ it to solve the problems that you need to solve in front of you will serve you well.
Kapil, before you ask a question, I just want to check with Prasanna that actually we had 12 questions, so we have asked only 6 questions so far, and we have only 5 minutes left, less than 5 minutes. So, are you okay to extend the
Ajit,
session?
I'm fine. I'm fine with going. As long as I'm not wasting your time, I'm good to go.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Go ahead, Kapil.
Sir, my next question is, sir, with the increased digitization, the challenge of cybersecurity is on the increase. How are leaders like Google addressing this to help man at the grassroots level?
So this one, I think I have some direct knowledge and insight into from my work at Google. Before Google, I worked at this company called Yahoo. Many of you may not know about it, but it was one of the early pioneers also. Uh, these companies do take that aspect of data that they hold and the security of this data quite seriously. So, as far as the common man is concerned, I mean, if we all equate ourselves to that, then the security that the cloud offers is going to be significantly higher than locking it up on my desktop computer, and I worry about whether I have a good backup or whether this thing will kind of survive across technology. I put everything on a CD. Now I can't find a CD drive to even read the contents of the CD. So that aspect of uh, technology getting outmoded or becoming irrelevant is not there. So I think having uh, impose your faith into the fact that these technologies, and especially the stewards of the technology, are cognizant, are taking steps to ensure that the data that is resident on their network and their computers is secure. Now, what you should worry about, on the other hand, is less about the security, but how the data is used. Um, what does free really mean, and that you are constantly being mined for the benefit of corporation. Those aspects, be the more you become aware, the discriminative your approach is, the better off you will be.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
Kapil or Manish? Manish, okay.
So as we are moving toward internet and various internet products, so IoT has been talked about now. Do you think it will make significant impact on day-to-day life in near future? Means what role of IoT will play in our future?
So, Manish, IoT has been around for a decade now, and it has
Yeah.
already played a significant role, and it will continue to. Everything that is quote unquote smart in our lives is, in a manner of speaking, I think the thing that I was referring to earlier, these three-letter acronyms, these other things, they go through continuous rinse and repeat changes and such. The Internet of Things is very much part and ubiquitous in everything that we are already experiencing. And this will be the foundational elements of everything technology is enabling now. So, if there are opportunities that are bringing you into um, work with technologies and frameworks that are making use of IoT, then by all means lean into it. I think you can't go wrong.
So, sir, my next question is, can you share tools and techniques you have used to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance for a student and budding professionals?
Yeah. So this question had made me think: is there's such a thing as keeping a balance? I think what I would say to this is find the things that you're passionate about and learn to put yourself uh, into getting to kind of a level of excellence that you strive for in the things that you're passionate about. When you go to do that, the satisfaction that you'll get from there will inform how much and what your effort is that you're willing to put into this. As far as stress goes, stress is kind of part and parcel of aspiring for something higher. Recognize that, a mentor told me this early on, and that's what I'll share, which is the difference between school and work is that school may there is pass and fail. In the life after school, there is no fail. It's that you are you fall short. As long as you have the awareness and uh, humility to accept that you did not meet that goal that you set for yourself and are introspective to learn why you did not. Was it lack of effort? Was it lack of something that you show up differently the next opportunity that comes your way? You will almost always be fine. So a certain amount of healthy stress is good. Uh, there is, and I will start by saying I'm a very bad exemplar of the distinction between work and life balance and such. My wife is probably familiar to some of you through GEF, English mentoring and such. I was largely absent for the first 10 years that we were together because my passion at that time was the startup that I had first gone to work for and then started to go get my own feet wet on the startup path. So, uh, all of those I look back fondly as things that were enriching experiences. So, always be looking for ways that will lead to a level of contentedness and not regrets. For which, again, I keep coming back to this. Having good mentors is the thing that you should invest in. And that mentor, the person that you look up to, should be able to slap you and say, you are wrong, and your willingness to be able to listen to him, her, or them. And from there, if you can pick yourself up, you'll always do okay.
Yes. Yes, sir. As you said, mentor plays a well role in everyone's life. So, sir, what's your advice to our students to keep themselves fit and mentally strong?
Yeah. So it's a good compliment to the previous question. And my answer would be incomplete if I left it as just do what you're passionate about without saying passion should include things that are for professional growth and personal growth. And for personal growth, find the thing or two or three that give you that joy in here is why I'm doing this. And I got introduced about 20 years ago to long distance running. In fact, my long distance running story started with the group that I was introduced to said, you can train with us to run a marathon, and our condition is that you raise money. And when I asked how much money and what that money would do, and I learned that it was going to help run a school in a place called Buldana. Some of you may be familiar with this place. I think it's near Pune. Uh, a primary school with a teacher and midday meal and such for about 30 kids for a whole year is what those funds would get going. And that gave me the motivation to start finding the time and also working on my fitness to be able to do this. I'm happy to say that is now 20 years ago, and that those relationships have uh, helped me get to level of mental fitness that in fact would be one of the reasons I'm here with you all. This is how tap happened, and that's how I came across Pradeep sir. And the that aspect of investing in things that you're passionate about, passion should be one that is well balanced. For those of you that have exposure to our own Bhagavad Gita, remember to look up the verse from chapter 2 on chapter 2 verse 47. 100% of what we do is the performance of our duty. As long as we focus well on that, the rest we'll get what we deserve. You're not We are not entitled to the fruits of our actions, but also attached to the passionately to the effort that it takes to get to a good result. Now, result is a combination of factors. There are good days, and then there are some days that I have to do better. How many people here are going to watch the match today?
Definitely, sir. We are
Okay.
going for. Yeah.
I hope I'm not keeping you from the match. I don't know what time it is, but it's
So, sir, means there is wait, means I will wait, and after the meeting, we'll if time exists, we will watch.
okay.
Okay, sir. Hmm.
Yeah, Kapil, go ahead.
So, sir, as as you said, sir, don't wait for result or just do your karmas. So, I would like to ask a last question, last but not least. Sir, can you define a definition of success in your life, or in your words, can you define what is meant by success?
The refined version of success to me is being able to sleep satisfied at the end of the day. Knowing that. So, about 10 years ago, I took up this. Let me delve into that a bit. Took up this habit of making a gratitude journal. I write down 3 things that made me smile today. And it's a daily practice. And it sounds rather pedantic. Today, your audience and the satsang is definitely going to make an entry into that journal. And the reason I say that is I have realized that for me, having a good closure for the day to recognize the 3 incidents that made me richer for the day is the thing I value and cherish the most. And so find that, and you will you'll find a lot of joy in life.
If I may add, inner smile in your life can define your success. How much you are smiling right from your heart, and how often, that's what can be the simple criteria.
Very,
And that could
very
be despite the adversity. I mean, that's the important part. If everything is good, obviously people can smile. I mean, can you smile despite the adversity and overcome that? Just a small addendum to what Prasanna said.
I think I would say the following, that even in adversity,
Yeah,
I have to say that when I think back, I go, through this day, I was blessed to have received the meal, was blessed to have received X. That
absolutely,
is so much to be grateful for.
absolutely. Yeah, just the fact that you can breathe in and breathe out, and you're getting free oxygen every day, every minute.
Prasanna, I would like to ask one question on behalf of one of our listeners. She's
Yes.
asking, Chat GPT like changes, is it responsible for taking our job requirements? So people are a little worried about Chat GPT type of app.
So I think I had mentioned this to Kapil before. We should be worried about ChatGPT in the same way that if my so I mentioned my mother was working for the Indian Railways. If defined success as doing what she did in that job, but that job does not exist anymore because ChatGPT or because technology, then kind of, it's a prescription for disappointment. So what I told Kapil, I'll say this same thing to your other questioner. Find out what aspect of that I'm going to do that ChatGPT is actually really already good at. Don't try to outrun ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is essentially able to, because we all have this shared background, I can use this without restraint. ChatGPT can, as though, consume all of the Vedas and the Manusmriti and all that, and come back with what seems like very cogent contemporary responses to how to live your life. That doesn't make ChatGPT Chanakya.
Yep.
The ability to synthesize that into the current circumstance is where the human intelligence has a role to play. And I I want to, meaning it, if it sounds like a repetition, it is. Don't be afraid of ChatGPT. Figure out how to make it your autopilot, kind of your co-pilot, rather, not autopilot, co-pilot, to up your game so that you can do from there the next level, to answer the next level question that either it's not able to answer, or is a question that you are able to formulate that is new. So in that, what ChatGPT, what Bard is bringing in is the work that I got started with. Those jobs are not going to be there. So when I said I am not going to get hired, what I mean is my version of the skill set that I brought and is definitely outmoded in in the current marketplace. But I'm not looking for a job. You are. You have different skills. You have different starting point, and you are more likely very naturally familiar with the ChatGPT interface that my brain is still trying hard to understand and adapt. So mm, spend the time to understand what it can do that you thought you wanted to do, and then from there the answers will emerge as to what it is that you can do that's a value add on top of that.
If I may add something, this is an age-old battle of new technology and the jobs. I'll just quickly quote an anecdote. It was 1988. I was working in Crompton Greaves and we had automation equipment and we had an exhibition in Visitex exhibition somewhere in Varali. So a person, an old elderly person, came to a stall and asked, what do you do? We told him about the equipment and then what they do. So he said that, well, that means that this will automate and will take some jobs away. I said, no, that is not the case. He said, yeah, we will say that because your company is paying you. I said that, no, just let me understand from where you have come. He has come from VT, which is CSMT. And he said, how did you come? He said, you came by bus. So I said that if you're so much worried about employment, now do you think, just tell me how many people you employed by coming from VT to Varali? Maybe 50 people were in the bus and we had only two people, driver and conductor, maybe one maintenance person. Now, if you are so much worried about employment, why did not you stop at VT, call for some three, four people who are standing there and ask them to carry you from that place to this place? Okay. So, and same thing will happen. And then it become like computers and then maybe like case tools and now AI. So battle will continue. Every time you'll have to change your skill set, adapt to the new one. What's going to be different now is that the cycle time is becoming shorter. So, for example, from automobile vehicles to perhaps cycle to that those vehicles, that was a very longer time. Okay, then to plane maybe was a little longer time. But now you would say that in case of these technologies, the time frame would be shorter very quickly. Mr. Kohli, who was the TCS CEO chairman, used to say that in your lifetime you have to at least have new 3-4 jobs. That is not changing the company, but what you'll be doing in the job will be quite different than what you had done earlier. So you have to keep on adapting and acquiring new skill set. So don't worry at all. It's only change in the nature of job. And as Prasanna very rightly said, that as long as you can solve problems around, there are plenty of jobs. As long as you only know a technology, then jobs will be limited. Am I right, Prasanna?
Very, very well said. I would further distill it down to be curious, never stop learning,
Absolutely.
be open to new ideas and ways of thinking. Important thing, and I think this is where ChatGPT really can be an ally. Be a good communicator no matter the interface. Before, like I know in my time, in such language, cultural assimilation, and such, make use of these technologies that allow you to take that normalizing veneer out. Be collaborative and work well with others. Develop empathy and understand the need of others.
Absolutely.
Be passionate about your work. Be patient, persistent, and lastly, have fun. I am
Absolutely.
I am fortunate that my mother named me what she did, and I try to live up to it all the time. I live in a society which they don't get to these names very easily, but after somebody is curious, the next thing I tell them is just remember it is happy. And I, in a few times of those things, they go, you know what? That's all I remember. I don't know your name, but
Wonderful. Wonderful.
so with that, I thank you for your time, all of you, for staying. I hope this was slightly useful. I wish you the very, very best.
Very, very helpful.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for interacting with us. That was a very awesome session, and we got so much learnings from you. Now,
Absolutely.
for proceed further, I would like to invite Komal. Please, Komal.
Thank you,
If
Manish.
I want to just say that in 30 seconds that all of you are welcome to connect on LinkedIn, and I would love to see and be part of uh, your stars as they rise. And if there is any which way I can help, I would be happy to. And sorry, go ahead, Komal. That's all I wanted to
Sure.
say.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for interacting with us and answering all the questions truly. We are really enjoy it, and we are sure there is many learning from today's session. Thank you, Manish and Kapil, for anchoring to question answer session, and heartily thanks to our all GF students who are participating in today's session. Thank you to all our listeners from YouTube and Zoom.
Thank you, Komal. I loved the song you started with, by the way. Didn't get to say it then, but
Now,
please song.
at the end of the meeting, I would like to invite our GF student, Snehal Ghorte, to sing Pasada.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Snehal Pradeep Ghorke. I am studying in 10th standard. I am from Chikurde, the village in Sangli district. Now I am going to start Pasada. आता विश्वात्मके देवे येणे वाग्यज्ञ तोषावे तोषोनी मज द्यावे फसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाडो भूता परस्परे जडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जाओ विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्ये पाहो जो जे वांचिल तो ते लाहो
प्राणी जात
मी जात वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवर्त भूमंडळी भेटो तया भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणींचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होनी तिन्ही लोकी भजी जो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीविये विशेषी लोकीये दृष्टा दृष्ट विजये होवा वेजी एतमने श्री विश्वेश्वरा हो हा होईल दान पसाओ एने बरे ज्ञान देओ सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला थँक्यू
Hari Om. That's beautiful.
Snehal. Uh, Now, thank you all for your patience listening. I request you all to please give feedback on our email ID info@gurujifoundation.in so that we can do more improvements for further virtual meetings. Before ending the meeting, I would like to invite Archita ma'am to say a few words.
Yeah, hi everyone. First of all, a very big thank you to Prasanna sir for joining this call today and helping all of us understanding all the like future trends and what we should do and what we should not be doing. And I think Prasanna, it will be very late for you, right? So it's quite late for you. What will be the time right now there?
It's about 11 now.
Yeah. So I think we need to now close it. And we just again thanks on behalf of everyone. Thank you everyone and thank you Prasanna. We'll just close the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay.
Hari
much,
Om.
Prasanna, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you to all the students who participated in this virtual meet. You all did a good job. Okay. Thank you everyone.
Pleasure.
Thank you everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, Prasanna.
Good night. Good day. Good luck for the game.
Yeah, thank you.
Recording